everybody. Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and this is Jason. And today we're doing something a little bit different. We thought that since it's Thanksgiving week, we would do our top three favorite Thanksgiving films. So we just thought we would keep with the tradition of Thanksgiving. We did something similar for, well, not necessarily. We did a top three for Halloween, but we definitely did like a Halloween film series. So we thought we'd do something for Thanksgiving. Clearly there's not as many Thanksgiving films, so we're just gonna do a top three on that versus horror films. I mean, you could go all day with like Halloween films. I mean, there's like 20 films with the title Halloween in it. So
Yeah.
but Thanksgiving is a little bit more of a challenge, I feel like. So yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing our top three Thanksgiving films, and I say we just get right into it, man. I'm gonna start with you if you don't mind. What is your number three favorite Thanksgiving film of all
All right.
time? Of all time.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here, and my number three is a movie that you have probably never heard of, and a lot of people have probably never heard of, but it's worth checking out. And it's called Blood Rage. All right. So this is a movie that came out in like 1987. It really went nowhere, but it has been rescued for Blu-ray since then, and it has a small but devoted cult following. So Blood Rage is about these two little kids. They're twins, and one of them kills somebody and blames it on the other twin. The other twin is like catatonic with shock, of course, so they can't defend themselves. So the wrong twin is sent to the mental institution, grows up, and then escapes because the real murderer is still out there, right? So on Thanksgiving Day, he breaks out of the mental institution to go home. Meanwhile, the actual psychotic twin, who's an adult now, of course, decides to go on a killing spree again because his mother, who he has an unnatural affection for, you can kind of tell it's kind of a psycho thing going on, decides to start killing people again because his mother is going to marry her boyfriend. So it's that kind of thing. So it's a Thanksgiving slasher movie, and it's definitely a Thanksgiving movie because it takes place on Thanksgiving after Thanksgiving dinner, and it's just really fun, weird movie. Like I know we've all seen a million slasher movies, but this one really is pretty unique because it's got Louise Lasser, who is who was an established actress at the time, still a pretty well-known actress. She shows up in David O. Russell movies, like she was in Silver Linings Playbook. But it's one of the all-time great, over-the-top, like insane performances. She's just like crazy. She's vacuuming and drinking wine at the same time. It's just like it's a bizarre performance, a bizarre movie, but it's really fun, really fun. And thankfully, Arrow Video rescues movies like this that disappeared into history in 1987 and deserve to be put on Blu-ray. Damn it! So number three for me is Blood Rage.
Cool. Yeah, never even heard of that one. But yeah, it's fitting you would go for a horror Thanksgiving film.
Of course.
But no, it does sound interesting. I just never heard of it. So,
yeah.
But cool. Yeah, definitely sounds interesting. Maybe one I'll check out, and maybe next year it'll be in my top three.
Yeah.
You never know.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. I definitely went a little lighter with my Thanksgiving films, and I try to get films that were, I guess, closely related to Thanksgiving also. I went a little bit lighter on them. I just wanted to do something that was light and easy. So most of my films are going to need a whole lot of explanation on, including this one because pretty much everybody and their grandma has seen it. My number three film for Thanksgiving is actually going to be a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Kier, how sweet.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen it in many years actually, so I don't remember all the bits and pieces of it. But I know it's one that they play it every year. I think around Thanksgiving, so it's an older one too. What is it, like 1980 or something like that?
No, I think that came out in the 60s, man. I think
maybe even older than that. Yeah, it's an older one for sure. But obviously, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is yeah, it's a fun one for the family. Everybody can watch it, while you're, around the holidays and, eating Thanksgiving turkey, you can definitely watch it. It's light. It's
Here,
fun.
the whole family can watch Blood Rage. Clearly,
Yeah, clearly not. So, but yeah, so definitely two polar opposite types films for our number three. So my number three, like I said, is A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And also, I need to make a note that I don't actually own any of my Thanksgiving films, but I plan to correct that very soon. Um, but that was my number three, A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
well, I mean, yeah, obviously, I love A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I didn't think it's not really a movie though. It's like 25 minutes long. So,
Hey,
I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I
sure,
didn't know
man.
we could pick stuff like that. I always
You can
wanted
pick
to
whatever you
try.
want, man. No, there's
Oh,
no rules. I never set any ground rules.
okay, all right. Well, I
I mean,
love
hey,
that.
man, if you want to
It's
go with,
it's you know it's a
Blood Rage,
movie.
fun Thanksgiving, then that's on you, man. If that's your
Yeah.
thing, then go with that, man.
Hey man, if you want to pick TV
Definitely
specials, that's
started
fine.
on Thanksgiving, then hey, that's on you.
If you want to pick TV specials, that's fine, I guess. But
TV special.
no, I love it, and frankly I
You
always
Google
wanted to.
Google any top Thanksgiving films. I bet you this one shows up on most of those lists.
Yeah, it's not a film, but okay, all right. I always wanted to try that meal they have in there though, where it's like their Thanksgiving dinner is toast, popcorn, pretzels, and jelly beans. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
for whatever reason, I think that's a good combo. I'd like to try it sometime. Not for
I'm sure you
Thanksgiving,
would. Yeah.
not for Thanksgiving, but
Not for
maybe like
Thanksgiving. Yeah, you
maybe like
definitely don't invite friends and family over and be like, "We're doing something a little different this year, guys. I
yeah.
hope you like jelly beans and popcorn."
You've seen Charlie Brown, right? Well, I got some
Yeah.
toast, some pretzels, some
Oh, I
popcorn,
got
and
a
jelly
surprise
beans.
for you.
No pie this time. No turkey
Yeah,
this time. Yeah, no.
yeah. No, man. No, man. It's jelly beans and popcorn, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Cool.
my number two is it's a movie, so but it is a little more light, a little more what you're looking for, I think, and that is Pieces of April. So I really like this movie. It came out in 2003. It stars Katie Holmes as kind of the black sheep of the family a little bit, and her parents, played by Patricia Clarkson and Oliver Platt, are basically driving to New York to visit her for Thanksgiving. But she's kind of the black sheep of the family. None of them really believe that she'll be able to pull it off, and she hardly believes that she's going to be able to pull it off. But so it's a one-day thing, and the whole movie takes place on Thanksgiving, like Blood Rage, I might add. But it's it cuts between the story of the parents and the siblings driving to New York, not really believing that it's going to be worth driving for, and her frantically trying to get a Thanksgiving dinner together. And it's a very short movie. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. It's a simple movie. It's a very low budget movie. You can tell they shot it, I think, probably on video. But it's a really great movie. Like every time I watch it, I'm surprised by just how good it is. Because I know it's good, but every time I watch it, I'm surprised by just how good it is and how like like on the verge of tears I am at the ending because it's a really moving ending.
Yeah,
But so yeah, it's a great movie. It's a really really good movie that I definitely revisit every few Thanksgivings, I would say. So yeah, that's my number two. Pieces of April.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Pieces of April quite a bit. It's like one of those films where the first time I watched it, I didn't necessarily love it, but I watched it again a few times over, and it kind of grows on me every time I watch it. But it's definitely one of those films that's like great for the whole family. It's like it's light. There's not a whole lot of there are some serious things and elements in the film, but it is light. But like I said, it's one that the whole family can watch. So great choice for sure. So cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Definitely more of a light, Thanksgiving film as opposed to, your
Blood Rage.
um, and I feel bad because I haven't seen this one in many years either, so I'm going off a recent memory. But my number two is actually going to be Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Stars Steve Martin and John Candy. essentially set around Thanksgiving time. They're trying to get basically back home. They kind of get stuck together. Obviously, Steve Martin plays kind of more of the straight man, whereas John Candy's more of the uh, screw up, if you will. And they basically are just having like it's like a road trip kind of get back home kind of film where they're just getting all kinds of like crazy comedic hijinks and that sort of stuff. And the reason why it's called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles just because they literally have to travel by pretty much all means, basically to get back home, kind of thing. So just a really good, fun, funny film. Another one that the whole family could watch around Thanksgiving, but one that I haven't seen in many years, but definitely one that I probably should revisit again here soon. So, but that is my number two. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Cool. That is that's a good lead in to my number one because my number one is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So
Boom, baby.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that. Cool.
yeah. So this is a great movie. It's a great, great, great movie. One of my favorites. And it took me like a long time to cement in my head that it's a John Hughes movie.
Yeah.
And because you think John Hughes, you think teenagers, and so this shows like he really could make like a really good comedy that's not just teenagers. I don't think there's a teenager in this entire movie, honestly. But yeah, it's one of Steve Martin's finest moments. It's one of John Candy's finest moments. It's really funny. But it's also got like it's got a sweet side to it too. Like there's a twist kind of at the end that you just don't see coming at all, and it just kind of floors you emotionally.
Right.
So it's a complete experience. It's got the holiday angle. It's very funny, and it's got like an emotional side, and the acting is good. I mean, it's just like the complete package, if you ask me. So that's a no-brainer for me. That's my number one. Is
For sure. Yeah.
Planes,
Yeah.
Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah. Definitely one that I need to own at some point in time. So yeah, definitely one that I'll be looking to purchase at some point. But yeah, great choice for both of us.
And don't forget Blood Rage.
Don't forget Blood Rage. Yeah. And with that said, so this is gonna be quick and easy. My number one is actually going to be surprisingly Pieces of April.
Yeah, I kind of figured there's a reversal there.
Yeah, just reverse order, but yeah, I just like this movie. It just grows on me every single time I watch it. I showed it to my fiance not that long ago. I don't think it was for Thanksgiving. I think we just watched it randomly. Probably maybe when we were doing a list show or something. I don't remember specifically what we were doing, but yeah, just one of those ones that I rewatched recently, and I'm just like, I get a little bit extra little nugget out of it every time I watch it,
Yeah.
and to me, it's a quintessential Thanksgiving film because not only does it, of course, it takes place on Thanksgiving, but it's like about her basically trying to make this really big like Thanksgiving meal for her family, and she's struggling and she's having troubles, and then the family, like you said, they're kind of debating whether they even want to go or not, and this kind of stuff. So it's just like one of those films that just like I said, it's just great for the whole family. It is centered completely around Thanksgiving, and it's one that I don't think everybody has seen this film.
Oh
So it's
no,
definitely
no.
it's going to be a little bit on the it's a lower budget film for sure. But if you haven't seen Pieces of April, I definitely urge you to check it out. Like I said, it is a great film for the whole family. It's got a great story, and like I said, it's just a really really good holiday film overall in general. So.
Yeah, and all the scenes with the neighbors in the apartment building are great. Because she her oven she has to kind of rely on her neighbors. So I mean, it's one of those movies that makes you feel better about the human race, kind of. You know what I mean? Because like the family's coming together, the neighbors are coming together, working to help each other out. So it makes you feel better, people.
Yeah,
not unlike Blood Rage.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. It's like it's one of those things where like I said, her oven breaks and she's just like having to like elicit help of other neighbors on how to. And she never cooked a turkey before. That was the other thing. And so she doesn't really know what she's doing. And so like she's getting help from neighbors and like they're letting her use the oven for a little bit, and then she has to take it out and go to another neighbor's house to use her oven, and so she's having all this like difficulty trying to like pull off this meal for her family. So yeah, it's definitely really really good. And like I said, and I've always been a big, fan of Katie Holmes, especially in the beginning when she did like the indie, a lot of the indie type films and stuff like that. I feel like I feel like that happens with a lot of actresses, like they do like the really indie stuff then they get big, and then they do like more like romantic comedies and that sort of stuff. I don't know what she's done
Yeah,
recently, but
and in her case, she married Tom Cruise.
yeah, that kind
That's
of
what kind
derailed
of
her a
took
little bit.
her, away.
Yeah, but she was doing
So
like really, really fun like indie stuff or just different kind of roles and that sort of stuff that I really enjoyed her being in. And then I don't know, same thing like Reese Witherspoon did like the really indie stuff. But yeah, it's like kind of I wish they would get back to those types of films again. So
yeah,
maybe
yep.
they will. I don't know. But those are our top three films for Thanksgiving. Let us know in the comments if you've seen any or all of them. Almost everybody's probably seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Charlie Brown. But if you've seen any of the other ones, let us know. I don't know if anybody's seen Blood Rage, but I'm sure somebody has. You said it has a small cult following, but
Yeah, yeah. It's good
if you
enough
get a
to put it on
Blu-ray,
Blu-ray.
yeah, if it came out on Blu-ray, that means that there's definitely some interest there because there's films that I think would be bigger than that aren't on Blu-ray. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, like I said, let us know in the comments if you've seen any of them or if there's any films that you feel are better served for Thanksgiving. Like I said, definitely let us know down in the comments.
Better served for Thanksgiving.
Right. but and we will be back again with another show soon. We thank you guys for watching. As always, if you like the channel, please like, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our updates. And again, we'll be back again soon with another show for you. Thank you guys for watching, and we hope you have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And try not to have 800 people at your house to be safe. So thanks again, and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.